Kitchen Drive on your first agricultural television in the capital city of Abuja, Nigeria. I am Hilda Hobson Francois, and today is a special episode of the program because I will be the one to cook this because it's my special soup. I love the soup. It's groundnut soup. Yes, groundnut soup has different recipes attached to it that cooks use, but I have my own unique way of cooking it. I would urge you to stay back and don't go anywhere, where I will take you down to my kitchen and of course display my recipes and then give you the magic of my granite soup. Kitchen Drive on ARCN television. Welcome back. Before we went on the break, I told you that today I'll be the cook and we're going to make granite soup. Now, these are my recipes for the granite soup. I have here spinach, cut spinach with spring onions, well diced, washed, ready to use. Here is called paraquata, but in English is rusli. Rusli leaf is one of the species of the hibiscus plant. It have that is when popular called zobo. Most people call it zobo leaf. So, but this is the white one. It's basically used for soup and mostly for the granite soup and other kinds of soup. You can even use the water because of the salt to take it. Some people say it washes the stomach, but I use it for my soup. And first of all, you will have the dry one. You wash it, you cook it, and of course squeeze it well. It comes out this form, so you can use it. This is my protein. I have stockfish, dry fish, crayfish, pomo. I have my meat here, and of course the groundnut itself. The groundnut itself. So these are the ingredients. I have my seasonings too. Of course, I will not forget about it. The vegetables, that is the onion, pepper, and tomato, and my palm oil. It's a simple soup with a lot of nutrients attached to it. So let's come along with me. Let's do the magic.
Would you eat synthetic meat? Food production technology has progressed to the point where we are able to create meat analogues derived from soybeans, gluten, and other plant products. Beyond meat products are readily available in supermarkets as well as some fast food chains like Burger King and Carl's Jr. If this plant-based imitation meat isn't your thing, you can simply get your protein elsewhere. Food cultures around the world have heavily featured plant-based meats such as tofu or falafel for hundreds of years. But synthetic meat is not plant-based. It's meat. Lab-grown, artificially produced meat. Thanks to recent innovations in food production technology, consumers may see lab-grown meat in their supermarket aisles very soon. Numerous companies around the world, such as Upside in the United States and Future Meat in Israel, have been hard at work getting ready to bring their lab-grown cultivated meat to the masses. For the first time, they'll be able to say, no animals were harmed in the making of this meat product.
Real meat, not harming animals.
Instead, workers cultivate small clumps of animal cells in large industrial-grade vats over a period of weeks. During this time, these clumps of cells are grown or cultivated into muscle tissue or meat. Effectively, this means that Upside is able to manufacture real meat in this facility without harming any animals. But how exactly is this done? The first step of this 2 to 8 week process is extracting the cells. After giving an animal a small dose of anesthesia, they extract a small amount of cells from it. These cells are then placed in bioreactors, large steel vats designed for cell culture applications. Inside these vats, scientists can grow tissues or cells far beyond the cellular level. Inside the bioreactor, these cells are fed an oxygen-rich cell culture medium or nutrient broth to further promote their growth. This cell culture medium aims to simulate the environment inside an animal's body and thus contains nutrients such as amino acid, vitamins, and glucose. This nutrient bath encourages the cells to grow normally as they would inside the animal. Eventually, once these cells have multiplied enough, they turn into muscle tissue or a mass resembling ground meat. To shape the tissue into specific cuts of meat such as chicken breast or a prime cut of steak, scientists introduce fat cells and connective tissue cells into the culture. This isn't just for show either. The fat cells and connective tissue enhance the cultivated meat's overall flavor. Scientists can even control the nutritional value of the meat by altering the nutrient broth the cells are bathed in during the cultivation process. Despite the massive amounts of progress they've made with their meat manufacturing process, Upside is running into the same problems encountered by the other meat manufacturers of cultivated meat. For one, the business of cultivated meat is expensive. Each state-of-the-art facility required to produce cultivated meat costs millions of dollars to construct and maintain. Couple that with the overall cost of production, and you end up with a relatively expensive product that might be a hard sell for some consumers. Thankfully, companies like Future Meat have been able to bring production costs down significantly. Recent reports indicate that each Future Meat chicken breast costs $1.70 to produce. That's in stark contrast to the $330,000 burger patties of the first public tasting of cultivated meat back in 2013. Aside from replicating the nutritional value in real meat, it's also crucial to offer consumers a product that tastes, smells, and feels just like the real thing. Upside has found some success with producing cultivated meat similar in texture and flavor to chicken breast. Other cultivated meat producers around the world have also made significant headway with their products. For instance, the Tel Aviv-based food tech startup Supermeats hosted a well-publicized taste test for Israeli food journalist Michal Ansky. Despite Ansky's refined palate, she was unable to distinguish between traditionally grown chicken meat and Supermeat's cultivated product. Once the cultivated meat industry takes off, we may finally be able to rein in the increasing environmental cost of feeding our world's population. More than a third of the world's greenhouse gas emissions come from the food production industry, with a large chunk of that attributed to meat production. By offering a cleaner, lab-grown alternative, we may be able to mitigate the growing stress our ballooning global population is placing on the environment. Along the way, we might even be able to get cultivated meat similar in texture and flavor to Wagyu beef. That would be quite the delicious bonus.
Have Okay, so we have our pot. We'll have the pot, the wash meat, of course, we'll add. I put in small water, little water, so that the meat will cook very well. I add a little of my onions, then my seasoning. I have thyme here, I have curry, salt to, give it a little taste, and I have my cubes here. You have this, and of course I have my scent leaf, so that it will give it the unique flavor. When you have a taste of this soup, oh, I don't want to give you the results. So we'll just cover it for some time so that the meat will cook and cook well. Then I'll add the other ingredients. This is of course the first stage of the soup, and it's a soup that you don't need to, be anxious about. It's a soup that you need to take your time, put in your heart to it, so that you will have the best results afterward. Kitchen Drive on ARCN television. Stay tuned. I told you, because of the thyme and the fresh curry, the aroma is already taking me, and then you can see that the soup is already turning green because of the fresh leaf, the fresh curry that I added. Alright, if you're just joining us, this is Kitchen Drive on ARCN television, and we are making groundnut soup. Of course, you'll be surprised that I'm the one handling it today, because I want to give you my own unique style of making groundnut soup. So before, we had meat already, everything's boiling in here. We have fresh tomato, onion and pepper, red oil, seasoning, curry, thyme. We have our protein, the stockfish, crayfish, pomo, and all you can think of. We have our roast leaf, or zobo as most people call it, but this one is the white zobo. And then we have the groundnut itself and the vegetables. So that is, we have the spinach, we have spring onions, and we have the real onion. So already our meat, our meat is boiling. I know initially I told you that we're just going to use small amount of water so that it will enable the meat to cook well and it is done. I'll add my other protein, that is the stockfish, the pomo, the crayfish into it. I'll now add more water. Your water depends on the quantity of groundnut soup you want to use. Okay, you stir it well. I add my rosely ozobo or arkata as we call it into it. I mixed it with a little palm oil so that it will still give it, this beautiful color. It doesn't mind, you can add your oil anytime, but I add mine now with the arkata. The arkata is the secret of the soup, because others just use other ingredients, other vegetables, but I use arkata or zobo, the white zobo as people call it. I had it washed, cooked, so that the salt taste would reduce. It can be very salt if you don't wash it well. So mine is even, you can eat it as it is now. And funny enough, do you know that you can make local salad out of this? Now this you can add your kulikuli. You mix it with tomato, onion, pepper, and you can eat it the way it is. It is very good. So I add this because that is my main ingredient. So I want to have more of it. Some people use garden egg, but I'm not really a lover of garden egg, so I'm not using garden egg this time around. So I'm just going to stir it well and leave it to cook for some minutes. Alright, you just stir it for some minutes, for like 10-15 minutes, and just allow it. By then it will be ready. Then I'll add my tomato and pepper. Okay, this is the main thing. You can see it's already thick. The arkata can serve as a thickener in groundnut soup. Alright, so we're going to have 10 to 15 minutes, allowing it to cook well so that we can add other ingredients. Kitchen dry on here. Let's go. Oh my god, you can see. Let's stir it a little bit. It's cooked. I said the arkata is the Hausa word. Okay, Rosely is the English word in it. So now with this I'm going to add my fresh tomato, onion and pepper. So the fresh tomato and the pepper and the onions. Oh my god. Let me have a taste of the seasoning, if it is okay, or I add at this stage. From my expression you can tell. Alright, I'll leave this for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Then I'm going to add the main groundnut. And then the groundnut, lest I forget, is raw groundnut. Okay, some people have fried their groundnut before blending it. Some people roast it, fry it and grind it. Some people have it fresh and blend it with water. But mine is the fresh one. I only grounded it fresh. But sometimes you can fry it and grind it and have it. Whatever form of groundnut you want, it will be good for you, or is acceptable. But for me, I love it fresh because I want to have the sugary, the tasty, sweet taste of the groundnut. That's why I use fresh groundnut. So I'm going to leave this for 5 minutes, at most 5 minutes, then I'm going to add my groundnut. Take a look at this. So right now, I'm going to add my groundnut. As I said, it's raw, so I had this groundnut. Oh, some people mix it with water. Me, I don't want to mix it with water. So this is now you can see I have my warm water kept here. Some people use cold water, but I'm going to use warm water to add because you can see that it's a little bit thick. So you dilute it or add it to your taste. It shouldn't be too thick. So because now it depends on the quantity. I didn't actually tell you the quantity. I had 2 cups of groundnut here and I grounded it, and as you can see it's thick. I told you the rustling leaf is like a thickener and it serves, you know, and it swells, so be careful of the quantity you're going to add. So because of this, I'm now going to add, I'll add my red oil. Mix it. Mix this. You see? Right now I'm going to add my spinach, spring onion, I might add my warm water because it's too thick, and if it's thick, even though you can take the soup as a main meal, but mine I'm taking it with tuwo shinkafa rice swallow, so I don't need it thick. So I'm going to add my still warm water. Now I'm going to reduce my heat because, you know, I'm stirring. I'm going to reduce the heat. Reduce it a little so that it will not burn. Yes, so I'll stir more. At this stage, please just look at this. Just look at this. Just look at this. Is Nigeria not blessed? Is Africa not blessed? You can have this at the back of your house. You know, the groundnut, the vegetable, the rustling leaf. Oh, but I'm going to add little salt, depending on, you know, some people. I'm just going to add a cube of my seasoning. It's sweet, it's nice. So I'm going to put back the remaining vegetable, the remaining spinach. Okay, it's well washed, cut. You know, this is groundnut soup, and is eaten in almost all parts of Nigeria. This is it. So you just cover it for 2 minutes and your soup is ready. Before we go on a break, I told you that it's a special episode prepared by myself because I love the soup so much. And it's a combination of groundnut. You can have it fried, fresh, you know, you either grind it dry or watery, or water rather. You have your vegetable, tomato, onion, pepper, the proteins you want, depending on what you want. You can put almost everything in it. You have your spinach, and the peak of it is the rustling leaf. That is the arukata, or some people call it zobo, the white zobo, depending on what you call it. It's served at my thickener, and then I cooked it. This soup wouldn't take you up to 30 minutes or thereabout, and you have your meal. This can be eaten with almost everything. Right now, let me just allow the soup to finish. At least just 3 minutes, but the soup is ready. And then, of course, I'll tell you how it tastes. That is the peak of this soup. Kitchen Drive on ARCN television. Just 2 minutes and we're done. See what I'm talking about? Welcome back to Kitchen Drive on ARCN television. I told you this is groundnut soup, okay? With arukata leaf and the thickener, everything. This can be eaten as meal. You can eat it as with waina or masa. You can eat it with bread. can eat any kind of swallow, eba, semo, tuwo shinkafa, pounded yam, variety of kind like this. And if you want to slim down or whatever, you can take this because it helps keeps the body in good shape. This is a very simple but healthy food. Try it at home and I tell you, you come in and give me your feedback. Kitchen Drive on ARCN TV. Today is groundnut soup. We have groundnut soup made out of groundnut. You can have it fresh, fried, you can grind it dry or with water. With the roasting leaf or zobo, that is the white zobo, with all your proteins depending on what you like. It can be eaten with all kinds of swallow. It can be eaten with waina or masa. It can be eaten as a main meal. This is Kitchen Drive. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I am Hilda Phantom, urging you to watch more of our programs to learn different recipes of different kinds. Keep a date with us for another episode of the program. From all of us here is eat good food and take good care of yourself. This is nice, I tell you.